Millie Rock. Live. Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to that We Got Action podcast, episode 62 coming at y'all. And of course, the usual, getting into the heat of the NFL season, man. We're 3 weeks in now. We're really grinding, right? Yeah, really grinding with some of these stinker ass games.
You grinded through these watches.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like it's either a blowout or just what did we have that Bengals Rams game last night?
Bengals Rams last night. We had
It's just been Saints Packers, Patriots Jets. I mean, it's either feels like it's either one team blowing somebody out or two teams trying to see who wants to lose
all
more.
Over the Commanders after we heap some praise on them.
But
I didn't mean to post that video, by the way, and then they do that. Like, I was hoping it'd be a decent fight, and then they end up losing 37-3. So I apologize for that.
That Steelers Raiders game too.
Like, I like that. I liked it.
The Raiders are abysmal.
It was terrible. It was such a bad game. Luckily, the refs blew a call to make it competitive and add some tension.
Still him.
Yeah,
but
so we're gonna go through our picks again through the recap. We're gonna talk about some of our best and worst performances from the week. We're gonna touch on Vitor's gonna lead a little segment through some struggling quarterbacks. Just two handfuls of them, to be honest.
We picked a few of them, not all of them, because otherwise
we're gonna go through what teams we're most worried about. I listed two to kind of compare that I think have been the two worst teams through this season so far.
I'm so excited.
But if you have another one, obviously there's three of us, and I only chose two teams, so we can maybe add another one. And then we'll do the opposite side of the spectrum. We'll go to who we have as our early Super Bowl favorites. I think there's been, again, another 3 or 4 standout teams. And then I've got a Would You Rather segment, and then one little MLB segment at the end, just so we can basically
throw it in
some praise. And
I'm honestly really sad you put that Would You Rather in there,
dude. I'm just wait.
Right.
There was the podcast that you had me follow from before. They did one. So I took some of the names from there that I thought were good, but I also thought some of their names were pretty disrespectful, and 2 just kind of dumb. So I also threw some of my own names in there. So it's a good mix. It should be fun. Obviously, it goes hand in hand with what we talked about last week.
Yeah, and it seems to be a constant point of conversation.
So we'll see. Unfortunate. But Danny, get into our picks.
Unfortunately,
man. You gotta come on.
Yeah, but so recapping for week 3, we got, and still in first place, we got CC leading at 31-17. Vitor and myself are now tied for second. We'll get Isaac's as well, as we have to get the updated numbers from him, but Vitor and I are tied for second with 27-21. So
it's still not that bad though. 6 games.
Still didn't make up no ground.
You actually lost. You didn't make up ground. You lost ground.
I lost ground.
Yeah. So but yeah, those are the standings right now. Again, we'll post that on our social for you guys as well, just so that way you guys can see. Throw on another poll on there. So if you guys are looking at our story, see who's gonna be leading after week 4. Make sure you guys vote. Just so that way we see. CC did get the majority of the votes last week. I got second most, and then Vitor and Isaac were tied for last with votes there. So yeah,
that was for who's gonna finish first.
Who was gonna have the better record after week 3, after the game. So everybody picked you. Weird. You're a good looking guy and all that as well. So I picked a good picture of you too.
Didn't I pose for it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did. When you sent the pictures in the edit in the group chat,
I could tell Vitor was royally pissed off or had no idea what planet he was on.
I honestly went through like the first 5 minutes of trying to see. I honestly went through the first 5 minutes trying to see like when we would smile, and I was like, this dude's just not smiling the first 5 minutes. So let me just get him looking at the camera.
Now you get one right there.
But real quick, since we got into our recap there, so now again for week 4, I'm going to give you guys our predictions for the game. Again, going through each one by one, and then we'll have an updated one from the week 3 tomorrow to show you guys, and then we will post our week 4 ones for you as well. So first game is
going to be, just as a precursor to what we're about to do, I think this is going to be a tough week.
Yes, I would say so as well.
Yeah, there's some
teams that we thought were going to be really good that they're not, and they're not really promising right now, but we'll see. So first game, Thursday night, we got Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers at Green Bay. Going to be a great game, I think. I am going to go Detroit.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with Detroit as well. It's a similar situation they were in week 1. They went to Arrowhead and won on the road on a Thursday night game. So I'm gonna stick with Detroit.
They've been looking good.
They're
Been
good,
looking.
man. Their
They're
defense
good.
looks way better than the past few years.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a little hiccup. What week 2 it was they lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, to
But
Seattle.
it was a close game, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
overtime. So,
the
but yeah, they've
Lions.
been
I like
looking
what
good.
I've seen from them through 3 weeks.
Yeah, I like that too. Next one we got here. I don't know honestly for this one. This one I think is a toss-up more than people realize. Atlanta Falcons at Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, so this is a London game.
Oh, this is the
Oh,
London game. Okay.
This is technically the first game,
Your bet's in early, boys.
which makes it worse for Jacksonville since they would be at home.
Is it though? Because they've played in London every year since they started doing this.
Technically, it's their home game. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like they're if any team's comfortable playing there, it's right, because they're the ones who do it every year. Even when they were going like 2 or 3 wins in a season, they were heading out there. So
I'm gonna go Jacksonville with this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
I'm taking
back.
that. Okay.
Yep,
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yep. They need to
Bounce
get
back
right
in their
game.
second home.
They need to
Okay.
get right game.
We got LA Rams at Indianapolis.
This one's tough.
It's gonna be tough to watch if it's on.
I mean, yes.
I mean, Gardner Minshew looked. If Richardson doesn't play this week again, Minshew looked pretty solid.
He's always been
backup.
pretty solid
but he's just not a guy you want needing to start like an extended run.
Yeah, but I think against the Rams, it's something that viable that he can do. But I'm gonna go Indianapolis Colts.
Makes me not want to pick them.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is tough.
It is.
Because
just
we
don't know
told me
what
at the
Matt
point the
Stafford you're
Rams
gonna get.
They were in a position to win that game.
Dude, they should have. I don't know
They-
what was
yeah.
going
Too
on.
often, Matt Stafford forgets how to throw when he's got 20 yards to go.
Dude, he didn't even target his number 1 receiver in the second half until the last drive.
Except for the last
Okay.
one,
Yeah, he didn't have a target, not even a catch a target in the second half.
Is that
until
more to what the Bengals were doing? Because their defense has been pretty solid.
I mean, yes and no. You can try your best to
I think
take guys out.
know if their offense was.
I mean,
Yeah.
Logan Wilson's a dog.
But you can do whatever you
Try
want to try to take guys out the game. They're still
Yeah.
gonna get flashes. Like there's no reason for him to not have been targeted at all, right?
Yeah.
And like, so you see the one drive where they did target him again, they ended up scoring. So,
So who you picking, sir?
I am not gonna trust this Colts defense. They're just
Oh. Okay, Vitor for the Rams and CC finish it off. Do
I'm gonna go.
you want to lean with me or do you want to lean with him?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
You
LA
have to
again.
you have to lean with one loser on this one.
I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think.
Rams, okay.
Now, if I change it, maybe I change it. But
Right now it's set in stone.
as of
Alrighty.
podcast, it's the Rams.
Next game we got
Why the
I'll
Browns
say
gotta play
this.
so damn good?
Yeah,
this past week?
I'll say the struggling Baltimore Ravens. I don't think this is anything we really expected. And then again, they're at the Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns in this game.
I also think I'm gonna take Cleveland.
I think it's gonna be a sloppy game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just every Baltimore game so far.
Yeah. So V, you got them as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Okay.
Browns as well.
Okay. Okay.
But I would not be surprised if the Ravens.
Yeah. I mean,
The
those
Browns
are
have
AFC North
they
games.
played much better at home this year too so far.
Next one here on winnable team so far. Vikings and Panthers.
This is a fucking terrible week for picks.
Dude, if the Vikings don't win this game, then they should join the Bears and be relegated to the XFL.
Honestly, Caleb Williams with Jefferson and Addison. Jeez Louise.
Plot twist, they're actually actively
mean,
tanking. They're just pretending
right.
to compete.
Just saying.
I mean, I'm going with the Vikings in this one. I just
Gotta
don't
be,
think
right?
that the Panthers offense can keep up.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. All of us. Alrighty.
Another
Yep.
tough one here.
Next one, Bengals, Titans.
Another tough game.
I'm gonna ride at the Bengals on this one.
That
I
they
think
found
their
it.
run defense has been good enough, in my
You're
opinion, to
expecting
stop the
another 2
Titans.
points from
No,
Derrick Henry?
not 2, but I'm just expecting that the Titans' offense revolves around being able to run the ball, And as I did do some research on bad quarterback play, I'm a little bit
You know a thing or two about bad quarterback play.
We're repping on theme today, boy.
Jimmy Garoppolo in the bad quarterback play.
So
He's on the
V,
list.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals as well. I think that the fact that the defense is playing well, as we saw this past week, really held up the offense. I think that the offense will just get better over time.
I mean, I was gonna say, surely you got to keep picking them until they explode for 50, like we saw.
Yeah,
or we've seen. Yeah,
well,
I'll go Cincinnati as well.
At least,
but
Jamar
I'm just saying, dude, this is a
Popped
tough
off on
week.
pure volume.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Next one here. I think this is going to be a close one as well. Obviously,
I'm
Derek
taking the
Carr
under.
possibly out. Yeah,
I'm taking the
I'm
under.
taking the under on a few of these games.
Bucks versus Saints. Man, I think I'm gonna go Bucks on this one because I think Jameis is just gonna have a terrible game against his former team. He's gonna try and do too much. But
Saints D at home though.
I know,
Saints D
but
at home.
Bucks defense is no joke either, though.
Their pass defense is.
I was gonna say
their run defense is not good, but their pass defense isn't good at all. And
I mean D Swift also just ran for 130.
Yeah, and they also made freaking Jalen Hurts
and AK's
look
back.
He can throw the ball again, which he's been struggling early on.
I don't know.
I'm taking the Saints.
I agree.
I like me some Jameis.
I don't like to bet against the Saints D at home.
All right, you two there. I'm gonna go Bucks.
And fuck this game too.
I want both of y'all to give me
I think this is the popcorn
game. Give me this
game.
energy, boy.
I think this is the popcorn game here. Let's go Miami.
Give me this energy. I want to feel it.
I'm going Miami. Dolphins put up 50 on their head.
They're not putting up 50.
Come on, V.
I'm torn.
Come on. Did you think that they were going to put up 50 against the Broncos?
No, but I'm never going to think anyone's putting up 50 against anyone. Except for the Chiefs against the Bears, and they didn't even do that.
Baby.
So I'm actually I think I'm going to take the Bills at home here.
Check me out. Come on.
Man, it's going to be a good game, though, I think.
I love you, Josh Allen.
Come on. It's going to be a good game, I think.
That is the game.
What do we think the score is going to be? What do we think? What we got score prediction?
Yeah, probably a lot.
I'll go over 54. Oh, no, that's a weird number. 35 to
I'm going to go like
65.
Yeah.
66.
I'm going to go like 42 to like
31 28.
42. Yeah, I think Miami puts up a 40
the Bills
bomb.
actually have a defense?
It's okay.
I know Miami doesn't, but the Buffalo actually has a defense.
Miami put up 30 against them in the snow.
I'm gonna go 34 to 30.
Come on.
I like that too. I'm going Bills by a tutty.
I'm gonna need a betting video out of you this week for that game. You need a betting video.
That's all. You can never bet on your own.
It's just gonna be all Bills overs.
I know. All right,
okay,
so we got
went
that
from
one there.
one game of the week to the other game of the week.
Yeah. Alrighty. The real stinker.
Ironic.
Real stinker. Broncos versus the Bears. You know what, dude? This is the damn week. All right. The offense comes alive. The offense comes alive.
I'm on the same page.
Let's go. Bear down. I'm going with the Chicago Bears.
I mean, I trust the offense to do better this week. I just also am scared of this defense trying to hold. Because Russell hasn't actually been playing that badly.
No, he hasn't.
As much as they're 0-3, he's been playing well, and the offense has been decent. But fuck, man.
That defense has been horrible.
A Bears win probably means a fantasy win. but is a Bears win fantasy in itself? Shoot.
I'm locked and loaded whenever you're ready.
Fuck it. We're going Bears. I'm taking this dub in Yahoo.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Oh, yeah, he's no longer a Bears how fan dare you?
He's no longer a Bears fan.
So V, you're going with the Bears as well with me?
I'm going with the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos.
All right.
Mainly because I want to know in my fucking Yahoo league.
I want to know this one. What do we think the score of this one might be?
Like
7-3. Yeah, I was gonna go 21-17.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think. Yeah, it's gonna.
Honestly, I think it might be like 28. Broncos might put up like 28, 24.
Neither of these teams can defend, So I think it's probably going to actually be more high scoring than we'd expect. But I'm
really
thinking like
tell
20,
it to the
24
Chargers
24 to who?
and the Vikings
20 what, that 28-24 game?
that the over under was what, like 54, 55, 56?
Yeah. And it would it hit if Kirk didn't throw that pick in that red zone? 24, so 31. Yeah, 59.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
They couldn't kick a field goal.
Yeah, well, Kirk
was gonna Kirk.
Yeah, I think it's going to finish something like 21-17, 24-20 kind of range. Very like middle of the ground.
Everybody all together now. Oh, Danny, your mic again. Fix your mic, Dan.
There we go. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
Commanders
That
versus
W,
Eagles.
that W on the Commanders logo going to be upside down after this.
Yeah.
This one here, Pittsburgh
Oof.
Steelers versus Houston Texans. I think Pittsburgh, man.
Steelers.
I'm going Pittsburgh.
It's
Steelers.
Pittsburgh, but I think it's actually going to be a lot closer than.
That's
Yeah.
a Pittsburgh game though. They
Yeah.
win those games.
Yeah,
They're deep.
Alright.
When they like, I want them up like 17-14 with their defense on the field.
Honestly, if they
That's
didn't,
how
if they
I wanna be
don't,
in that
if they
spot.
didn't have, if they don't have like if TJ Watt doesn't play in this game, I'd pick
Ooh.
Houston. Honestly, I wouldn't be scared
yeah.
about
That
It's been-
CJ Stroud air raid is working in that Pittsburgh secondary. Joey Porter aside has
he's-
been terrible.
They better hope they can protect him.
Yeah,
He's looking like the best OSU quarterback to come out of that school. Honestly,
I mean,
Careful.
that not a
It's not saying a lot. But
yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying. All right. So we all pick Pitt. Next one, Las Vegas Raiders versus the Chargers. I'm gonna go Chargers on this one.
Same.
All right. Next one here.
Niners.
It ain't no trap here.
Yep.
Cardinals,
Niners,
Niners.
baby. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pick the Niners every week until they finally lose and make me think otherwise.
Once we get to that like tougher stretch in the middle of the year, we can reassess. But
This is a tough game.
it's tougher than everyone thought it would be. But I'm not significantly worried.
How about them Cowboys?
I don't know, man.
They're pulling it back this week.
I really don't know. I'm kind of scared about it, to be honest.
No doubt in my mind, the Cowboys are winning this game.
Yeah, especially at
by
home.
at least
6.5.
Yeah, at least one score.
Let's do it. That's on our list then. Come on, baby.
Alrighty, we all got Dallas
Mine
there.
looked real good until the fucking Jags happened.
Now this
Uh,
feels like a trap.
This does feel like a trap.
This
That
feels
don't
like
mean
a
I'm not
trap.
picking up.
I don't think it.
The
I don't
Chiefs are
think it
coming
is.
off 48 points, whatever. It was the Bears.
Didn't even play their fourth
It was
quarter.
the Bears. The Jets, their offense is in shambles, but their defense is still top tier.
Yeah, but the Chiefs.
Yeah,
are
but the
topper.
Chiefs do
They're
just
topper
enough
tier.
on defense. The Chiefs do just enough on defense.
Yeah, they make plays they make big plays when they need them.
Yeah. I'm gonna go
Typically.
Chiefs. I'm going
Same.
Chiefs on this
Now, if the Jets hadn't let Mike White go and he was available,
Ooh.
that'd be another story. But
one. Honestly, if he was on the team, I feel like they'd be in much better position right now.
100%.
Wait, did you not see him throw for 400 yards in his only start last year?
Well, yeah, no, but I'm saying like another like year in that system and all that, really getting acclimated, especially with Hackett. I think that they would be in much better position.
He looked good
so-
in that fourth quarter against
68
heck-
yards and a tutty.
was it Denver? Yeah, Denver.
What do you call it?
Pickett, or you're just gonna?
Yeah, you going
Sit here
Jets
and
or
do-
who are you going? You going Jets or what are you doing, Mr. Trap Game? Huh?
I'll go Chiefs.
Yeah, that's what I
But
thought.
I don't.
The Swifties are on the Chief bandwagon. All right.
Okay, you got me. Fine, fine.
Last game.
Taylor Swift. I guess I'll be a Chiefs pick this week.
Last game. That Monday night. Seattle Seahawks versus the Giants. I'm gonna go with Seattle. in that one.
What's up these trash ass Monday night games?
See,
Oh, God bless.
if Saquon is playing, I would actually go with the Giants,
What do you mean by that?
but I'm gonna go on the side of they're gonna hold him out another game and pick the Seahawks.
I'll go Seahawks regardless.
Y'all got
Plot
the
twist:
clean
he
sweep.
plays and then they
Right.
still lose, and I end up lucking out.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I am ready for like an 7 to 8 win week this week. Just saying.
Yeah,
This is
I
one of
wouldn't be
those where
surprised
like
if it
it
really
could go
throws it
either
off.
way. Very, yeah.
I'm gonna be very careful with
Did
my
any of
picks
us
this
even
week.
pick different picks? You went Texans.
No, I said closer,
Yeah, so
but Steelers.
These are the bad ones.
Bills, Dolphins, we went different. Bucks, Saints, we went different.
Rams,
Broncos,
Colts.
Bears, different. Yeah, Rams, Colts.
Oh my.
All right, bro. I got some chances to pick up some wins.
11-4.
Yeah, same. Everything else, so Bills, Dolphins, Bucks, Saints, we went different. Rams, Indianapolis.
Ravens, Browns, or do we all go Browns?
Browns.
We all went Browns.
Browns.
Yeah, we all went Bengals as well. So,
all right.
But hey, let's get into it, man.
Best and worst performances.
Oh God.
I think the worst has to be Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, really?
Because no one expected a win as bad as those two losses were by the AFC East winners.
What about these, bro?
That's what I'm saying. But nobody expected. Everyone
everyone thought
103 to 23.
No,
but everybody thought Jacksonville was going into Houston to win. Like everybody thought they were going to win.
That was take care of business. Just get in there.
Houston went into Jacksonville. Get your facts straight.
My bad. Whatever, dude. But still, like that was a trap.
No one was picking the Broncos. No one was picking the Commanders.
Yes.
Right, and that to me, and everybody was picking the Jags.
Picking a 50 and 34 point spread.
Well, no one's ever going to do that unless they're nuts.
No.
And yeah, maybe like in terms of the pure output by the offense of the Dolphins, I think it's the Ravens were also incredibly disappointing for me. They had full control of that game; they could never capitalize, and then they let them just hang around and.
I mean, I agree though. I think Houston over Jacksonville is one of the worst ones. I mean the one that the one for me I think is an obvious one is Dallas losing to Arizona. But I'm gonna go with because honestly I think this season can really be at a loss for them now. And really hard for them to catch up and maybe make time depending on what Detroit does this week. I'm gonna go Minnesota.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with them.
Where's Isaac at?
But again, the thing is, it's not on Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is playing out of his mind right now. And they have talent on defense. It's just never seemed to click for them the last 2-3 years because they've had names.
Really bad in the clutch usually.
Yes, that too. But I'm gonna go with the Vikings as one of the worst performances. I think you needed to win this game. Granted, the Chargers did as well, but I think more so for the Vikings.
If the Chargers lost, you would have just said Chargers.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons too. It was a pretty poor performance because I think the Lions defense showed us a lot. I think a lot of people were expecting big games from Bijan, and he let us down.
Well, he at least hit one of them for him.
Yeah, he let my fantasy team down.
Maybe a little bit of Kyle Pitts as well, but
he even did okay.
We haven't seen him.
We saw a little bit of him. That's like a
best performances.
Oh, then Miami.
Oh, I think clean sweep Miami, dude. But I did I don't know if any of y'all saw the Mike McDaniel post game and they were like, why didn't you go for it? I thought that was a real classy, raw answer that he gave.
I mean, that's how he's always been.
Yeah. But the fact that he actually came out and said it and actually thought about what he was saying, I think is something that you rarely see. But damn, 70 in an NFL game. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna go obviously the Dolphins, and I'm gonna go Browns as well, as a honorable mention because again, losing Nick Chubb the week before and you come out with a dominant performance at home. So I'm gonna say that.
Buffalo. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean Dolphins were the easy pick, but I'm also gonna stand by my guys back on Thursday.
Oh come on. It's the Giants.
Come on, dude, really?
It's not like the Giants have been good.
They had no chance walking in.
Decent.
They beat the Cardinals that beat the Cowboys, who were apparently the best defense in the league. So they can't be that bad.
You make me sick.
No, but I still want us to forget that Thursday night domination. That the fact that we can let them score a touchdown was embarrassing.
That was disappointing. All right, lead this next.
All right, so yeah, I mean we
talked about bad performances.
Yeah,
here.
There's been a lot of bad. And I'm just kind of going through some of the quarterbacks who've started slower. One specifically to me, I think has kind of been done over a little bit by the schedule. But I made a list of guys, and I want to just kind of go through some of their stats and kind of discuss who's plays a bigger concern? Who are we less worried about? And, you know, who's should be on the hot seat, things like that. So we're going to start with Trevor Lawrence. So through 3 games, he's at 73 out of 117, 64.6% completion percentage, has 736 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's fumbled 3 times, but he's only lost 1 of them.
They're missed snaps, aren't they?
I don't know if
2 were missed snaps.
I wasn't going through game film, unfortunately. Didn't have that much time.
Good enough.
Yeah, so week 1 against Indianapolis, he went 24-32 for 241 and 2 touchdowns.
So that skews.
Yeah. And so the 2 games since Indianapolis, which are against Kansas City and Houston. So it's not like he played lockdown defenses and, you know, he went 49 for 81, 60.5% completion, 495 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 fumbles, 1 of them lost.
Yeah.
And so per game, he's averaging 1 turnover, half a touchdown in those 2 games since that Indianapolis game. So, I mean, is this something where we're like horribly concerned for Trevor Lawrence? Are we confused? Because that's probably my biggest description. I don't know what the hell happened because he finished last year so well. Game 1, he looked really good. And then, so.
I mean, at least for me, from the list, at least from like what you had provided originally, I'm going to say he's one of the more ones I'm actually worried about and concerned about because he has everything around him. Everything's kind of been shored up defensively. They are better. They're still getting better. But I don't know if it's maybe expectation. I don't know if maybe more so people have figured him out or something like that as well and figured out that offense. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I just think it's a cause for concern. I mean, they're supposed to be on the up and up, and you're supposed to win those games as we talked about in preseasons. Like if you're a good team, you're supposed to win these bad games. So I definitely would say so. Out of the ones that you definitely name, I think he's one of the more ones with the potential that you have to worry about.
Yeah, I agree. TLaw for sure should be performing as what I think most of us had him as a top 10 quarterback on all of our lists.
I would say so.
I think one of us might have left him out, but I do believe we all had him in the top 10, towards the back end of the top 10, for what he showed us at the end of the season into the playoffs.
Yeah, what we saw.
But again, what I think is to be kept in the back of your minds is what you saw in that playoff game as well. Is 2 sides of a coin, which you've seen consistently with Trevor Lawrence since he's came into the league. Dominated high school, dominated college, that's fine. But when you're playing against NFL defenses, you've seen him throw 5 picks and then you've seen him turn around and throw 5 touchdowns. So it's just kind of what Trevor are you going to get? And that seems to be what he is so far to this point in his career. I would definitely say I'm concerned though, because you're going into year 3. That's stuff that's got to be cleaned up, man. Yeah, you're gonna end up like a Dak Prescott.
And the thing we always see too is like, you know, again, like you said, dominates every level that they're previously at until they get to a place where players are better than them.
Right. And normally when you're dominating, you're a high draft pick, which he was. You get on a bad team, which he was. But now they've built pieces around him, like you said. They've got weapons for him. They traded for Calvin Ridley. They went out and got Christian Kirk. Evan Ingram's a big piece. They drafted
Travis Etienne,
who he played with at Clemson and won a national championship with. So he's got pieces around him. The defense has been usually what's gotten the Jaguars to the playoffs and been their key staple throughout their years of wadtever success they did have.
Yeah, so 2017.
Blake Bortles era.
Yeah, it was all defense.
2017.
Yeah, so I think I'm not fucking smashing the emergency button, but I'm definitely starting to be like, what's going on?
Yeah, I think
because everything is like you plug him in, you know, because plug Pat Mahomes in that team.
Oh yeah,
plug a healthy Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Some of these elite quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts. The Jaguars are probably 3-0.
Yeah,
blowing teams out of the water.
Yeah, I mean they did play Kansas City, but that was like again,
it looked a lot better than this week though.
Yeah, defensively they're not. Kansas City is not a team where you're like as a quarterback breaking it, right? Like they're susceptible defensively.
What was week 1? The Colts, you said, right?
It was the Colts.
Okay, that was the better game.
Yeah, and that was again too. Ridley had over 100 yards.
Right.
2 touchdowns, or was it?
I think
one
he had
touchdown?
more targets in that game than the past 2 combined.
That's what my biggest concern is
so maybe it's
where on earth
coaching thing.
Yeah, where on earth did that
Play
go?
calling. Yeah,
right. Same thing I mentioned with kind of Stafford yesterday. He was targeting Puka.
I'd like ETN to get more touches too.
Yeah, 100%.
Get the ball to your 2 playmakers.
Oh yeah, I mean the Houston's probably the worst run defense in the league.
Yeah,
you should have been able to.
I actually sat Calvin Ridley in one of my leagues
Yeah.
because I was expecting them to be extremely run heavy this week.
Yeah. That was TJ was my favorite start in one of my leagues. And
all right, so next one up
is the man you mentioned, Mr.
Dak?
Dak Prescott.
Trash.
Currently 69 of 102.
Yep.
67.7% for 647 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Numbers aren't awful, but they're definitely not great. And he's been
sounds like Dak Prescott.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of looking more into the red zone numbers for him specifically.
Yeah.
Because that was the big problem in this past game was that they made 5 red zone trips, scored 1 touchdown, kicked 2 field goals, and turned the ball over twice.
Mm-hmm.
Once on downs, 1 a pick. So in the red zone, he's 13 of 28, 46.4%. All 3 of his touchdowns and his pick have come in the red zone. And he does have the turnover on downs as well from the game against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
However, looking into it, of all the quarterbacks who are currently under 50% completion percentage in the red zone, he leads them in attempts, 28. Kirk is second at 24 with an offense that doesn't run the ball.
I was going to say, he's been fairly abysmal.
And then Jordan Love has 21. After them, the next highest is 17. Guys under 50%.
Right.
So the average, most of the guys were between kind of 12 and 16 was a range. So Dak got pretty much double what the average, the average guy in that same kind of completion zone range is.
You would almost expect the numbers to be a little better.
Yes, you'd expect with that. Yeah, with him having more opportunity,
more touchdowns.
Yeah,
maybe an extra pick or 2, but more touchdowns, more.
So, and they've played against the Giants, the Jets, and the Cardinals, which I would say you'd only have one matchup you'd expect to struggle in as an offensive player.
Yeah.
Right, which is actually his best game. Just have to manage it really. But yeah, for Dak, and less of a cause for concern. I think we don't look at it the same as Lawrence, right? Because now you've got more of an established player.
Yeah.
But are you concerned for his spot at this point? Like the Cowboys had no reason to lose that game, even beyond the terrible run defense. They were in the red zone 5 times against a team that does not have playmakers on defense because Buddha's on IR. Their best defensive player is not even there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm concerned. Now again, the thing is that I'm more concerned for Trevor Lawrence than I am for Dak because we know what type of player Dak is already, and he just doesn't show up when it matters most. That's just simply what it is that he doesn't show up. Now that's easy for us to say just as the casual fans of watching the game, obviously for many years, but this is their best window of opportunity. If they don't get this, I would say within the next 2 years, with this defense and with these players and with Dan Quinn is the most important aspect of this team, I feel like, especially on defense, because he's going to help propel them there. But if Dak doesn't shore his shit up, they're just going to put Trey Lance in there. Hey, manage the game, use your feet, but it's going to come all down on the defense. But I'd say for Dak, I'd say middle of the season, if we're kind of seeing the same issues, you got to push the button. But the button's already been pushed, I feel like. That's just me.
I was about to say, I think the button was pushed a little bit when you made the move for Trey Lance. You already have, owner in Jerry Jones that doesn't like to be patient. He likes to make moves. But I also think we're looking at the loss of some guys. I think the Trayvon Diggs loss was pretty big for that defense. I mean, 28 points to the Cardinals is not something you would expect from a team that's let up 10.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not their run defender. He's not their primary run defender.
Defense,
so I don't know how that.
They got.
I know it's more of a mental thing, but that.
And then also, I think too, they're looking at what most people were expecting from a run offense. Tony Pollard. It's a bit more one-dimensional when you've only got Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
I think the loss of Zeke, regardless of how effective he actually was, is just it made you more, you could be more situational. You could do more things when you got into the red zone, which was Zeke's area of expertise.
Yeah.
When you were within the 10-yard line, within the 5-yard line, like took some pressure off of Dak. I think having to do more, I mean, not that he has less, he has more. They got a couple weapons in Cooks and healthy Gallup, young Jake Ferguson.
Yeah.
Still got CeeDee Lamb. Tony Pollard's obviously more explosive than Zeke, but yeah, I think having some of those other key guys on offense took some pressure away from him. Mm-hmm. I think they were best when they had Amari Cooper and CeeDee, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they gave up. I think they gave up on Amari way too early in that system, or at least within that team.
That's when I feel like you saw the best with Dak right before that injury.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, not concerned because we already knew what we had. But
yeah,
give me two more, B.
All right, so I'm gonna go with
your jersey. I gotta get your jersey.
All right, so we're gonna go with Jimmy, and I don't know who I'll go with as the last one. So we'll start Jimmy here. 64 of 94, 68% passing completion.
Atrocious.
It's actually the highest on this list, percentage-wise.
Wow.
He also has the most touchdowns on the list with 5.
Thank you, Tay.
And he has the most interceptions on the list with 6.
Jimmy, you got one job.
He has fumbled once and it was recovered. Okay, he has played Denver, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh. So he's played some tougher defenses, obviously not including Denver.
That's got to be the toughest on the list, though.
No.
Maybe Tannehill?
I'm passing over the guy who probably had the tough. Well, there's 2. Tannehill had the Saints, the Chargers, and the Browns. And then Pickett had San Francisco, Cleveland, and then Oakland just now, which is when I did my breakdown.
Excuse me, sir. Oakland? Oh.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I think Tannehill.
Las Vegas. They're still as bad as they were in Oakland. They're as bad as they were in Oakland.
Jimmy.
The thing is, though,
so, yeah, he has 709 yards too, which puts him at second most yards on this list behind Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
Obviously, that's partly due to the fact that Josh Jacobs couldn't run in an open room.
Able to run
at this point. But when you sign Jimmy Garoppolo, you're expecting to get a guy who's going to be reliable, not spectacular, right? He's going to chug you down the field. He's not going to win you the games, but he's not going to lose you them. But
sounds familiar.
As of right now,
I'm side-eyeing you heavy.
I know, I can see it. You look just like the wiener dog meme. But I mean, he's got in 94 pass attempts, which to put him at second most yards in this list, he is got the third least attempts. So he's airing it out for his standards. But 5 touchdowns and 6 picks. Not what you're expecting from a Jimmy Garoppolo. You'd rather have a 3-0 from him, right? Because that's what you're expecting.
But the thing is, too, where I feel like now is that they're asking him to. Josh McDaniels asking him to do too much, in my opinion. Like I think we all knew that he's the type of quarterback. He can air it out. He can throw you some touchdowns if you like. Obviously, he can air it out. He got an arm. Let's not
overthrew Sanders in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I got an arm.
Let's not be surprised. But I just think Josh McDaniels in that offense is asking him to do way too much, which is causing him to get out of the player that he's known to be in the NFL community, especially with fans and stuff like that, and the type of player that he is. But I just think that it's something that's not in his game, but they're having to do that because they can't run the damn ball whatsoever with the leading rusher from last year. I want to say I want to say I am concerned for the route that he is going right now because of having 5 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. But at the end of the day, I'm not concerned because you're asking him to do too much. So what else do you expect at that point?
I'm not concerned. I expected it.
I think the role is the biggest thing for me. Right, like this is a guy who's supposed to just.
And I don't even think he has a defined. I don't even think he has a defined role in Las Vegas. Like they're literally just plugged him in and like.
Weapons aren't great either, though.
I mean, you think about
not really.
Josh Jacobs has not been what he's been since he came into the league.
They don't use Hunter Renfrow. They don't use
Collins is gone, and he was pretty solid week to week.
Yeah,
last year Darren Waller's gone. He was a big piece. So. When you're basically force feeding Devontae, it's easy to then hone in on the rest or just bull rush Jimmy, and he ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, you probably throw a pick, just live it.
I don't even know who their backup quarterback is because he might be out this week with a concussion.
Shoot.
I don't even know.
They released Peterman, right? Or was that
Peterman?
No, he was on the Bears. Yeah,
he was on the Raiders at one point.
That was with John Gruden.
So the last one I'm going to go with is going to be Joe Burrow.
Nice, and good choice.
Yeah, the guys we're not going to go over. We forgot about him.
Brian Hoyer is the official backup, but Aiden O'Connell, who torched the preseason, Purdue boy, you never know.
Yeah, so the guy I'm going to quickly mention the guys we didn't touch on. Well, we did Tannehill and Pickett. We touched on, and then the other guy I had was Desmond Ridder. But then let's focus Burrow. I think he's probably had the worst start of these guys. He's 67 of 121. That's 55.4%, lowest completion percentage on the list.
This is a guy who coming into the season had the highest QBR rating through the first however many starts for.
Yeah, that is the lowest completion percentage on this list.
Mm-hmm.
He's had 563 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. This season, the numbers I really highlighted here are he's averaging 4.65 yards per attempt. That's not per completion. That is per attempt. And his air yards per attempt is actually lower at 4.24.
So surely he can't drive off his back.
So that's exactly what I was going to say, is that he cannot generate the power off his back leg because of the calf injury.
When I throw, like, obviously me and Danny, we're bowlers. So when I throw the ball harder, I'm a little more accurate. I don't know what it is personally. I feel like that could be going with the accuracy thing.
Well, yeah, because especially you're not when you're
just kind of
cover distance. If you're not throwing it hard, you have to lob it.
Right.
And there was a play last night where Mixon ran a little swing route. It was about 3 yards back. He had to jump up just to tip the ball. Right. And that's because he can't generate the drive on the ball because he can't plant off his back foot properly. But like, this is a guy who's like, he's known for airing it out, right? We talked about Jimmy being able to air it out. Burrows has been airing it out. Jamar Chase yesterday had 18 targets or something stupid, like 12, 13 catches for 100-something yards.
Yeah.
And it was the lowest, he had no freaking yards per catch. It was probably as low as he's had.
Yeah, usually he's
aside from maybe week 1.
Last year he led the league in yards per attempt, 30 yards per catch.
So I mean, probably through qualified guys. Yeah, there's probably a couple of those straight line runners who they caught 4 passes for 200 yards. But yeah, so to me, this is the biggest discrepancy between seasons.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, we know he's injured, but at this point, is it affecting them that much that they'd be better off sitting him and running it with literally whoever else?
Him the first 3 weeks, he'd probably still be 1-2 or 0-3, regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, because they didn't win that game because of him last night. They won because of, honestly, Matt Stafford. You can credit the defense, but I think Matt Stafford really is a big reason as to why they won. The Bengals won. So, how concerned are you going forward that he said no setbacks after that game, that, looking at the Titans already, if I'm a Bengals fan, I'm losing my mind right now because he looks terrible. The offense looks terrible, and you're not going to let him recover, right?
That's where I'm at simply with the injury. I'm going to be concerned because you know what? He may not go, or may not take any games off right now within the first handful of games, but all of a sudden, week 7, week 8, week 9, when it's really getting down to the middle of the season and you need him to be there, quick injury, he could be done for the season or even be done, quote unquote, until the playoffs, but they may not even make the playoffs at that point. Mm-hmm. But I would say there is cause for concern because, again, you highlighted all of those, all career lows, obviously, and he's known for being a gunslinger. And if you have all those weapons and they're not being used properly, then you can't really, I don't think you can, more so with San Francisco, you can rely on their defense. Maybe if their offense sputters a little bit, I don't think you can do that with a good offense playing the Bengals defense. Yeah. I don't think you can do that.
I'm definitely concerned because, on top of, I personally, I don't think he's just a gunslinger. He can.
No. He can do everything.
Yeah. He's extremely accurate. He's one of the most well-rounded, polished quarterbacks, probably the most well-rounded in the league. Obviously, Mahomes can do the stupid shit, but I think Burrow is the most polished, and when you lose the mobility, you lose the back foot drive. It's definitely concerning, and you can see it just with the production of the receivers as well. And the run game is Joe Mixon's not there at the moment, doing as good as he's been recently. Yeah, I'm more concerned not for his career as like maybe for some of the other guys that you mentioned, but definitely for this season is definitely concerning. Because like I said, if you would have just sat him 3-4 weeks anyways, or just IR'd him for the first 4 weeks, maybe you're 1-3 in the same position you were, but at least you have Joe Burrow who's rested for what would have been like 2 months straight.
Well, yeah, and any back of the leg injury, the hamstring and the calf are two highly sensitive.
Gone.
It's like the re-injury risk too. Even if he does get healthy,
overcompensation, always an Achilles in the back of your mind.
Yeah,
and like Danny pointed out, the seasons don't get easier.
No,
it's not like you are playing more games and putting less stress on your body. The more games you play, the more stress and
they're already going to have a shorter 6-day turnaround now, playing from Monday night to Sunday.
And they're playing, and again, playing Tennessee. That's a tough defense. Like, he could simply get hurt based on like. I'm surprised he didn't. Yeah, exactly.
They're not a good pass defense, but they like to get pressure. They hit. They like to get their hits in. So, and they're going to have to pass the ball because their run defense is good, and they're so. But for reference too, I did jot down the second lowest air yards per attempt on this list to give you guys a point of reference.
Somebody on the list?
It is on this. No, so this was of these guys who had the second lowest air yards per attempt. Because I just wanted to keep it to guys who are not very good, have not been very good. It is Ryan Tannehill. I think that it was to no surprise to me when I realized that he was the second lowest. But he's at 5.22, meaning that's not 0.98 air yards more per attempt. And that's second. Everyone else, for the most part, was around like 6.2 to 6.5.
There's
a couple of the guys going a little bit over.
List, they're bums, dude.
Tragic.
So for him to be a yard behind the guy who's second by a whole yard, I think like Ritter's at like 5.9 or something too. All those checkdowns to Bijan adding up. Dude, that's how bad Burrow has been this year.
And the thing is too, like, I don't even think like you can be concerned. I mean, from the list and stuff, like I don't even think you can be concerned with a guy like Ritter because I don't really think he's gonna help you. And especially within that offensive system.
Before we started, I was saying that like for Ritter, the concern is that this is his shot at his starting career, right? Because most likely they'll be back in that top 5 race. Guys like Caleb Williams, Drake May, maybe Shedeur Sanders if they don't repeat the performance against Oregon a couple more times. There's going to be options for some of these quarterback needy teams, and the Falcons are a team that. Yes, they've taken an early one, but they didn't spend a high pick on him. He was there. They were like, yeah, let's give it a shot. Clearly not committed to him. Right. So this could be one of those cases where if he doesn't step up, that's his last season starting in the league.
Yeah. I'd say so.
So that's where like his concern is for me more. But yeah, some of these guys have looked really bad. Concerned for the Titans because they have no options that are decent.
But that's been
they dig their own grave. They refuse to go get a quarterback, so that's on them.
Yeah. All right, I want to move.
A lot of bad ones.
I want to move into we're going to keep the trend of being very sad and bad. Yeah, we're going to go with what teams are we most worried about? Which ironically, again, they do play each other this week: the Broncos or the Bears. Who do you have more cause for concern?
I'll start with the Bears. And that's because the Bears.
Oh, I didn't even
because the Broncos have actually looked good on offense. It's just we talked about it last week. Their defense for some reason has taken 15 steps back.
I don't get it.
The Bears have looked terrible on both sides of the ball, aside from like one drive a game where it feels like they're like, oh, it looks like
this works. Let's not do it at any other point in the game.
Aside from one drive a game, the Bears' offense looks terrible. Their defense is terrible.
For one drive a game, they let Justin run and throw the ball to DJ Moore.
Yeah, and it works every time.
And it's like, what?
Every time DJ Moore gets 2 receptions on a drive, you guys move it forward.
And they don't target him for 2 quarters
or the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely more concerned about the Bears, especially because, right, you got a defensive head coach, defensive coordinator who's no longer there.
I was gonna say that the DC is now the head coach. He's calling plays.
Well, yeah, the DC is no longer there, but they had a mostly defensive regime.
Yes.
Come in and they signed several defensive players, including linebackers who typically help on both
frontline guys.
Yeah, they probably should have signed a couple more frontline guys.
Got to draft Jordan Davis.
Yeah, they have the worst pass rush win rate in the league, the worst pressure rate in the league. So yeah, defensively they're terrible.
The most injuries in the secondary, gotta be right.
I don't know. Do they count them as injuries when they don't leave the game? They just stay in there and hobble through because they don't want their backup to get toast even more.
Good point.
Yeah, the Broncos have signs of life, at least on offense. I don't know what's going on with the defense, but Bears just look terrible. I'll let one of the rants kick in then.
Go ahead, Danny. I don't have a rant, dude. I told you I gave you my speech. Like I said, I haven't watched. I watched the opening game because we were all together.
6.5.
Honestly, I probably am not watching another Bears game the rest of the year.
I'm watching for fantasy reasons.
No, dude, I got Komet Ant in one league. I got Fields in another league. I don't give a fuck. I'm probably dropping them both. I don't want anything to do with this team.
I traded for more in the field.
I'm not wearing any jerseys or t-shirts anymore. No, that's it, man. That's it. I'm good.
Hold on.
Go the wagon.
I'm gonna do a little thing for y'all. This is how I feel. Okay, that's how I feel. Right there. That's how I feel.
Somebody free this man.
Dude, his post game.
I want him to sign with somebody once his rookie's over.
And just go off.
Just go off.
I'm
afraid we're gonna shit on his career so much that no one's gonna want to sign him.
Exactly.
He'll just be a backup somewhere.
Let's just start with DJ Moore. His value is slowly plummeting the more that he is in a Bears uniform. Okay. He's supposed to be a number 1 wide receiver, traded number 1 draft pick for him. Yeah, makes sense. Except for week 2, but again, all fucking garbage time, of course. Offense is predictable. Defense is ass. You have a defensive coach. Again, we got that again, and they fucking suck. So I'm more concerned, more worried about the Chicago Bears.
Isn't it bad that the last time you guys had a competent coach, his name was John Fox?
Well, actually, we've had one. Yeah, he was the 12-6 coach.
Yeah.
But that's our only winning season. Or sorry, 12-4. That's our only winning season since we fired Lovie Smith. Just saying. Who Lovie Smith was 10-6.
No, Nagy.
Was Nagy? Okay, so Nagy was 12-4. Yeah, Nagy's first season was 12-4.
That was not on him.
Yeah, and then
he was not a good coach. That defense was correct.
Yeah, but no, I'm obviously more worried about the Bears because we just have not had the fact that we're going on literally half a decade of no direction is very concerning. The Broncos, they go out and try and do something, or at least try and go out and get these names, or I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. I'm just sick and tired.
Can you hear the defeat in his voice, man? Like...
Josh Allen.
I'm just sick and tired of it. But I like I said in my video, it's the Bears are failing Justin Fields. We see it with all these other teams that get young quarterbacks, and if they are competent. Josh Allen. Well, I wish we had that.
You guys would have ruined him too.
If they're actually competent, if they're actually a competent coaching staff, you find a way to work around the weaknesses of your quarterback, of a young quarterback. We know that he's athletic. We know that he can make something out of nothing, but yet you don't do that for him. You make him a pocket quarterback.
I had this conversation.
So funny.
I had this conversation with our friend Billy. He was like, "Man, I think it's time to like maybe give the backup a chance or just move on from Fields."
He's gonna suck too.
And I was like, "Okay, sure, maybe Fields isn't great. He's not improving like you expected. But what do you expect when he's a mobile quarterback?" Was doing really well playing off of his running ability last year, and now they're not running him.
Right, because you have to be honest.
And
it's a more open space.
People are saying too, oh, they're just trying to test him to see if he can pass in the NFL.
This ain't no time to test. There's no time to test that.
And if you look at the Ravens game on the same day, they might have lost, but if you look at the game script and how it went, Lamar had most of his rushing yards before he picked up most of his passing yards. But because they let him run, they established his presence and his threat. It changed the way the defense can line up and open things up for them on the passing game. Bears are not doing any of that. And they're failing themselves. They're failing Justin Fields. They're failing their fan base because this guy's talented. As a 49ers fan,
that's what I'm saying.
The three in that draft, he's the one.
That's exactly what I'm saying. He's like the talent is there. Like he just does not. I'm sorry. No matter how bad Ohio State quarterbacks have looked, he does not just come in and then look this fucking awful. And I don't normally swear on an episode, but damn it,
that's my job.
Damn it, I'm gonna do it. They're making him look so bad, and they're making him look like an incompetent quarterback. He's one of 3 to rush for 1,000 yards, and yet the first 2 games you only had 5 designed QB runs for him. What are you doing?
It's not even just the design runs too. Like you can create plays.
Oh yeah,
that are meant to create scrambling opportunities too.
He can't create if he's just like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna let everything collapse around me. You know what? If I'm not gonna get rid of the ball, and then I'm not gonna see the wide receiver as soon as they're open in the first 2 seconds, then I'm not gonna do anything. But damn, fucking help them. I'm over it. It's the fucking Bears. There's nobody else. The Arizona Cardinals have a better outlook than the Chicago Bears do right now.
Well, they got K1 coming back. That's why.
I don't care, dude.
They'd have a better outlook with or without him.
Oh my god.
I'm done. Josh Dobbs and his no jersey selling.
And you know he's actually he's actually a NASA scientist.
Who is
Josh Dobbs?
Josh Dobbs.
Not really.
Is a NASA scientist.
He was because he was in school for a minute.
Yes.
I remember that.
Shannon Sharp literally goes like part-time NFL player, full-time NASA scientist, and he just beat the Dallas Cowboys, and we can't do shit.
Makes sense to me.
All right,
I can read a defense. That's why.
Slamming shit around here. It's not normal.
The funny thing is, I've watched quarterbacks for years that didn't even have to read defenses because the offense, all they had to do was read the offensive set. And so you don't even have to read defenses to be good in the NFL.
You need to read defenses to win a Super Bowl.
There's no other team for me. There's no other team for me.
Yeah,
I'm not speaking on any other team. There's no other team that's struggling this fucking bad.
Question was tailored to hopefully get a rant out of somebody, but I also made up my mind before coming here that I was no longer a Bears fan for this season. So, and I'll probably not watch any other game unless I'm in a social gathering.
We're gonna change this picture.
You think they could beat Georgia? Huh? You think the Bears could beat Georgia?
Yeah. Oh, stop it! Yes, any NFL team can beat a college team.
I know, even though it's 16 round.
Oh,
there's been some Bama and Georgia teams. Maybe Georgia not from 2 years ago, or LSU from a few years ago, or some of Bama's peaks.
Oh, dude, that LSU team, this Bears team it's gonna look like the Dolphins game against the LSU team. I swear to God.
So let's get into something a little more fun and enticing. Actually, I feel like we should just do this. So we're gonna run a Would You Rather Justin Fields edition. We're gonna stay on par, and then we'll end with a high note for the NFL.
Yeah, this is the bad quarterback episode.
Yeah, it's just a bad episode. So we're gonna run Would You Rather for Justin Fields. So again, we've all talked about the fact we do believe he's talented. Yes, maybe he struggles to see some plays develop. Maybe he struggles to read some defenses. But again, when you are caging somebody who is into doing something they're not, I'm not saying he's not comfortable, but you get it.
You're putting your back to the basket big at the 3-point line to create space for someone else, and it's not working.
It's not what you need to do. You need to let him eat in the paint and open up space for the other players.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for that. That's great. I can't wait for basketball.
Football just started.
So yeah, we're saying he's talented, and he's there. But we're gonna start off somebody who's only played a few games, but has been very impressive. And maybe has already shown more potential. We got, would you rather have Justin Fields or Anthony Richardson?
Shoot.
Honestly, I'm going to go with Anthony Richardson right now.
Nice. I probably would say the same thing.
I mean, shit, we've seen more from his first 2 games that he was in before he got concussed than what we've seen with Justin Fields so far.
I was going to say that in the first 2 games, I've seen him already do what Fields can do, but then I've also seen him use his arm a little better and be a little smarter.
Yeah.
But again, they've also let him
play his game.
I don't think he was.
Dude, he had 2 rushing touchdowns in like the first half of the second quarter.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna go with
Oh,
Richardson. They hadn't broken Fields this season. I would have stuck with Fields, but that man looks.
I mean, preseason, I think all of these names you're picking Justin Fields over. Just saying. Next one up, I got. Would you rather have Justin Fields or Mac Jones?
Justin Fields.
I'm still taking Fields. I just don't like Mac Jones.
You like Jimmy G though, right?
I like him enough.
Basically the same thing.
Nah,
It's the exact same thing. An immobile game manager.
Yeah, but at least one of them is like classy and respectful. The other hits dudes in the dig when they're not involved in plays.
Would you rather have Justin Fields or Jordan Love?
Jordan Love. Stop it. Dude is the next coming of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers combined.
Right, my guy barely beat the Saints.
Hey, he has less than 50% completion in the red zone.
The Saints actually. Would you rather have Justin Fields or CJ Stroud?
Oh, CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. That dude's a dog. He's a dog.
He could have thrown to Nico Collins more last week, but I'm still around with him.
I don't even care. That dude, he's already better than Justin Fields. But wait, the coaching staff is going to his strength. Weird. Weird.
It's almost like that coach came from another organization that likes the.
Yeah, crazy how the seems like coaches that leave us and go elsewhere seem to do okay for themselves.
I don't ever saw that needs help.
Well, yeah. To be fair, if they had Mike White instead of Zach, they'd probably be.
Would you rather have Justin Fields or Ryan Tannehill?
Fields.
Yeah, Fields. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Would you rather have Justin Fields or Jimmy Garoppolo? This I feel like is decent, dude.
Honestly, right now, I will say Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think
no matter how bad he's been, I'll say that.
I think it really depends on if you're phrasing the question like this season right now, or are you talking like on a first year of a 5-year contract. But for right now, I'd rather have Jimmy.
Okay. Would you rather have Justin Fields or Derek Carr?
Well, right now I'd rather have Fields. That's just because his shoulders put together. Yeah. But aside from that, I would take Derek Carr.
I will go with.
That's a top 10 quarterback.
My previous top 10 quarterback last year. I'll go with Derek Carr.
Blasphemy. All right, I got one more. Would you rather have Justin Fields or Baker Mayfield? Again, I think what you've seen with Baker, or what you've seen with Justin, is similar to what we've seen with Baker.
Yeah.
In the sense of just nothing.
Yeah, the thing is that the thing is when Baker can't pass, he can't pass. Same thing with Justin. When he can't pass, he can't pass. Except Justin can run, but they won't let him run. Baker's tough and can run.
And will run regardless of what the fuck they say.
Yeah. And he'll stiff arm the dude to the ground.
I'll stiff arm the coach if he has to.
Yeah.
I'll actually go with Baker in this situation because I feel like his attitude actually rallies a team, whereas Justin Fields is just defeated right now, unfortunately. So I'm going to go with Baker.
Getting out of games like, look at the bright side. I'm breathing. Got out of the game, no injury. Like,
all right, last one, last one.
Josh Dobbs.
No, Justin Fields or Zach Wilson?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Whoa.
That dude's just bad.
Cool. I'm glad we're there.
I'll take the potential on that
there. From the older quarterback. Let me go early season Super Bowl favorites. Early season Super Bowl favorites. I would say they're probably 2.
We're 1 on all the power rankings, but I think
I would say you're 2.
Yeah, we're.
I'm gonna let you go. Yeah. You might take my pick, but I'm gonna let you go.
I'm going Miami.
Okay, that's what I thought. That would be my number 1.
I just like what I see. I mean, obviously, still we're 3 weeks in, but that offense is just insane, and we just need to see somebody contain them and actually make it close for us to not believe that they maybe won't have a chance. So weird.
I was gonna go Philadelphia this year. I like how dominant their defense has been. and how much the fact that they're still 3-0, with their offense kind of being shaky a little bit. I mean, week 1 was week 2 and 3 has kind of just been the DeAndre Swift show with a bunch of tush pushes, you know what I'm saying? So I would, and I guess again, you've got multitude of games to get that offense back to where it was last year. And when that happens, you're going to be kind of looking at what you're looking at with you guys.
Yeah.
I think if it's not Niners, Eagles in that NFC Championship game, again, that was last year's, right?
Yeah.
So
that's where Purdy got hurt on his first drop back. And then,
that was fucking stupid. That's right. I forgot that.
After we went down to
I was so mad Christian didn't play quarterback.
I
was
livid. So was I, bro. I could have
stepped
stepped in there and done better than Josh Johnson like this. I would have at least thrown the ball to a receiver.
No, you wouldn't.
He was
Careful.
You throw football. Baseball.
He said I could throw football.
Baseball.
Stop it. You can't even drop back without staying on your feet.
That's what's fall over. Might get caught in the turf, but
yeah, I got Eagles. I got Eagles right now. And Buffalo.
I was gonna say shocking. We named the 3-3-0 teams to start off.
I would have said Miami, but I knew Danny was gonna go Miami, and I knew you were gonna go 49ers.
Yeah.
So I went with the other 3.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna roll out the Cowboys because
I am.
It's one
I
game.
don't like Dak in big games.
I mean, that's true.
Their defense is good enough, but when you have to face the Eagles powerhouse on both sides, you guys on both sides, I mean, if they make it to the Super Bowl, you've either got to face Buffalo's high octane on both sides.
Miami.
The Chiefs have already done it for the last 5 years.
Kansas City,
Miami's high octane offense. If the Bengals get right, they're good enough on defense with the high octane offense. Which again, I think then if you throw any of those 4 teams in the mix, but I think the 2 best teams for me personally on paper is the Eagles and the Niners right now. Top to bottom, front and back. Again, I still think you saw it last year, even when Tua was playing. You saw it in the Buffalo game. They can be stopped. You can scheme, you can stop them. You know what I'm saying? You can contain them to 20 points, 25 points, and then it's just a matter of fact, can their defense hold water?
Yeah,
it did a few times.
Yeah, their defense is not good though, so far.
No,
which it's, I mean, defense is never.
But that's a good thing about football is it's one game
to
win a Super Bowl. It's one game.
Yeah.
So like if your offense isn't there, your defense doesn't have to be, maybe your defense is bad 8 times out of 10.
Yeah.
But if they're on that one game and they hold
and I mean they don't even have to worry about like doing incredibly well. Like the offense is gonna score. So it's just about, can you keep it low enough that even if the offense is struggling, that they can just put up more points. And odds are you're probably in a good spot for Miami for that.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I think weather will stop more. Weather is going to stop them more than a team, to be honest, in my opinion. I think it's more so
it's like a cop-out answer.
I don't know, dude. I just feel like it's obviously every team's going to have a bad day type of ordeal, but I think it's more so like if this team is still clicking like this throughout the course of the year, of course they're going to lose, but I don't know, dude.
I think 70 points was the reason why you got them number 1. But
no, I just think that with a Vic Fangio defense like that,
they should have lost week 1. If the Chargers don't fucking suck, the Chiefs don't suck like that. The Bengals have been there. They might suck like that right now, but the Niners, the Niners usually choke in the playoffs. But
they do.
The Niners don't suck like that. The Eagles don't suck like that. The Cowboys defense don't suck like that.
I would have preferred to choke on our own accord.
The Bills
and
the Bills also kind of suck like that in the playoffs.
Yeah, but it doesn't help when you have to play Kansas City every year.
Yeah, that's true.
I need to see more than 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, but some of these harder games,
I've seen it for years with the Niners.
Well, I mean, the Patriots held them pretty well too. Like
that's why I said,
yeah.
And again, the Patriots in week 2 was pretty solid too. But talking about the Commanders, that's just.
No, it was the Broncos.
Sorry, Denver. The Commanders was the Bills.
Yeah,
sorry, got Buffalo on my mind.
When don't you?
You tell me. It's my screensaver. All right, that's it for NFL. I could kind of just sit here and talk it all day, but I just want to do a quick flower throwing session for arguably Well, we'll go into this. The future NL MVP, Ronald Acuña Jr. I just posed a question that I thought was crazy. I was trying to like have Carly kind of wrap her head around this concept that no one's done so the 30 home runs, 60 season thing.
Yeah, well,
no
40,
one's ever
70.
done that before. And yet he's about to do a 40-70. I think he's a stolen base or two away from 40-70. So he's already done the 40-40, and he's only the fifth player to do that. But yeah, that to me, I just think, is this like one of the best seasons we may ever see or have seen? Obviously, Shohei last year and even this year, but I'm talking about like just from a pure offensive player standpoint.
Yeah, I mean,
the best season we're looking at. I mean, Judge last year was 62 home runs, but a healthy Shohei shatters that.
Yeah, and they were giving him the juice baseballs anyway.
They were.
So they wanted that record to be broken by a Yankee. I agree. And actually, when I saw the list, I needed to go find this tweet from Jeff Passan.
Okay.
He tweeted on August 25th.
So
he tweeted the stat lines of Mookie, Ronald, and Acuña at that point in the season.
Ronald and Freddie?
Ronald, Mookie, and Freddie.
There you go.
All three of them. And basically saying that it's not a runaway competition for Acuña anymore. And now there's other guys in the mix. Yesterday, he tweeted in the full month since their tweet, he tweeted the slashing lines for Mookie and Acuña. Didn't even include Freddie anymore.
He's been pretty poor.
But he said it's in the full month since the tweet happened. Mookie bet 302 with a 432 on base percentage, 521 slugging percentage, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, 20 runs, 3 stolen bases. Acuña hit 342 with a 398 OBP and a 708 slugging percentage.
Over 1,000
OPS, yes. And with 12 home runs, so more than double what Mookie put up. 27 RBI, almost double what Mookie put up. 30 runs, so 1.5 times what Mookie put up. And 10 stolen bases, so more than 3 times what Mookie did. And basically saying that we're gonna have fun watching Acuña get crowned as MVP.
That's been the thing. I feel like what has kind of kept him at the front runner is the overall consistency.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you were to put like July to August for Mookie would probably be
he was incredible.
Similar sense of where you were at with from August to September.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the overall consistency, like none of them are really going to shatter Acuña and any of those stats out of the water. Like you just saw there from month to month. He's just been consistent all year around 330, around that 400 on base, around that 650, 700 slugging. Like the home runs are there.
Oh my God, they won.
No, they did not.
They were down 6-0 a day, and they
6-0.
won.
I thought it was 6-0.
And he homered again.
Anyways, so I don't know. I can't really think of anything. I mean, we talk about obviously like Barry Bonds had his own thing, and even he said, didn't he tweet out a nod at Ronald earlier?
I think so.
Because I mean, Barry obviously did a bunch of things and has some of the crazy stats of like if you took all his home runs away, he'd still be batting this and that. Or if you
have like more walks and strikeouts,
away, his on base would still be like the highest ever, or something stupid like that. So I mean, to get praise from one of the greatest to ever do it is, I mean, you're doing something right. And I think this is, I don't know if it's the best season we'll ever see, just because you always have these young and new players coming up. I mean, he's still in the freaking league at 24, 25, so he might even do something crazier. But yeah, dude, I think it's pretty insane, and I'm really excited to see him and the Braves make another postseason run because he's the spearhead of one of the best offenses we've seen, which we talked about last week.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I think they got a good chance.
So then he's 25.
25. Yeah. I think just turned though.
No, he'll turn in December.
Damn, I forget we lost a whole year of him.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I mean, he's still got 10 to 15 years.
Get a real ring. I actually don't know if he got a ring technically.
I'm sure he would have been given one.
Who?
Acuña.
He went down in what, July or August?
Yeah, I think he would have. I'm sure he would have. But either way, they got a good chance though. But I think also too is that being able to, I don't know if he would have had this with the previous rules fully healthy. But I think the rules
no, but the stolen bases,
no.
Else.
Yeah. But I think definitely the new rules have definitely helped push them. And then again, I agree with everything you guys said. I mean, he's just one of the rare talents. Obviously, you have Shohei because he's doing it both ways, but again, this guy's a generational talent, and the Braves literally have like 5-6 generational talents on their team, so it's kind of cracked. But yeah,
pretty much.
They're like 6, they're 6-7 guys, like most teams, like third best player.
Thanks. All right, Danny. Let's do it.
All right. Well, thank y'all again for tuning in to episode number 60, episode number 62. Again, we're gonna get our updated standings for you guys there shortly. Gonna have probably might break some tables out here, but we might actually have our debut parlay video. Is that right? I know you got a day off Saturday.
Oh,
you got a day off Saturday.
I don't have a day off, but I get off around 4. So
okay, well, I'm saying that we might have a little parlay, like
we'll get together and butt heads.
A little something to at least, get you guys plus a hundo, if you guys want to make, some dough. But yeah, we're going to start debuting that for you guys. But again, tune into TikTok, our Instagram, keep that going up to almost 300 followers. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not just yet. But enjoy the rest of the week, guys. See y'all next week. Hopefully we may have 4 of us next week here, but we'll keep it grinding, keep it churning. But have a great rest of the week, and we will see y'all next time.
Love you, Josh Allen.